Never done that before. Never done it before for a presidential candidate. And when these companies that want to leave and then think they're going to sell their product to us, no problem, just come across. The suckers, you know, they call us the suckers. Not going to happen. And let me tell you, when they hear there is a tax to pay to get their product into the country, guess what? They're not going to be leaving, folks, 100%. They're never leaving. Right now, you're being drained. As you stand here tonight, you have companies from this area and from all areas of the country negotiating deals to move out of the United States. Let me tell you something. When I'm president, that's not going to happen. So easy. So easy. So easy. And the reason other people don't bring it up, including your wonderful politicians and including your so-called leader, if you can call him a leader, if you can call him a leader, is that they're controlled by their donors and their special interests. And they don't want it brought up. They'll talk about it, but they're not going to do anything. Me, I'm not controlled, folks. Me, I'm not controlled. We're gonna take care of that. We're going to take care of that situation so quickly, and you're going to be so happy, and you're going to know you're going to have your company here for a long time, believe me. In this new future, we are going to raise your wages. You're going to have competition. People are going to be looking for employees. They're going to be looking, companies are going to be looking for people to work in that company. Right now, you can't get a job, and all our good jobs are gone. Household incomes are over $4,000 less today than they were 16 years ago. Think of it. My tax, trade, energy, immigration, regulation reform, which is a huge problem, will get your salaries and your wages up, up, up. Remember, many people 18 years ago in this room were making more money in wage. They were making more money than they're making today. And today, they're working 2 jobs. Now they're getting older, and they're working harder. It's supposed to be the other way. So we're going to bring your jobs back. You're going to have your choice, and you're going to do very well. And you're going to say, November 8th was a very important day. Very important day. Thank you. Hillary Clinton will continue the failed economic agenda that has only made her friends rich at your personal expense. The people are getting rich through the rigged system, and you've seen that both politically and otherwise. We've sent tens of millions of dollars to Hillary Clinton and to Bill Clinton, much of it to a personal bank account, to keep you from having the future you deserve. They're not doing the right thing for the people, 100%. But on November 8th, you get to vote for the future that you want and that you deserve. It's enough. And I know the system. Believe me, I know the system. And the system is broken. And I said that this country has been great to me, and I'm putting back. And that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And remember, for those of you that are getting older and you are working harder, I'm getting older and working harder also. Remember, this is work. It's work. It's work, but we love it. You know why we love it? Because we know what's going to happen, and we're going to turn it around, and we're going to make America great again. That's what's happening. In this future, we're going to pursue new education policies. At the center of my plan is school choice. I want every disadvantaged child in America to be able to attend the public or private school that is right for them and their family. And by the way, we are going to make education so good. You have to just take a look. And Common Core, boom, out. Common Core is a means by which people get paid massive salaries for doing very little. That's all it is. We're going to bring our education locally. And all you have to do is look at the lists and see how badly our country does on education. You could look at China, Norway, Denmark, Sweden. They're all at the top. You look at the United States, we're always at the bottom. And yet, per pupil, nobody close. We spend more money per pupil than anybody else, and we're at the bottom of the lists. We're going to change that. We're bringing it locally. We'll be doing it with love and smarts, believe me. In this future, we're also going to keep our country out of the endless wars that have defined Hillary Clinton's careers. And these are wars that she never wins, doesn't win. She only loses, folks. She even lost to Barack Obama when she ran, right? So, to keep our country out of war, we will remember those three very famous words: peace through strength. Nobody's going to mess with us. We have such depleted military. We have the greatest people on earth in our military, but we're not taking care of them. We're not taking care of them. I laid out a detailed plan this week to reinvest in our military and our troops, our great, great troops. We are going to build a 350-ship Navy. Right now, our Navy is smaller, and disproportionately, you take a look, compared to the past, probably at one of the lowest points it's ever been. We're going to have a 540,000 soldier army, which is substantially more, an Air Force of 1,200 combat-ready fighter jets. Have you seen the documentary recently on our fighter jets, where they're so old that they can't get parts for them? Where they go to the airplane graveyards and the airplane museums, and they take parts off these old planes to put on the planes because they can't get parts. And we're going to have a Marine Corps. We love the Marines. Built on 36 battalions. 36 battalions. Crucially, we're also going to pursue a state-of-the-art missile defense. We need it. We will start modernizing our cruisers to provide the ballistic missile defense. And if we don't have that and that capability, this is the capability our nation needs. As we expand our Navy toward the goal of 350 ships, which is about 100 more than we have right now, we will also procure additional modern destroyers that are designed to handle the missile defense mission in coming years. And by the way, with Iran, when they circle our beautiful destroyers with their little boats, and they make gestures at our people that they shouldn't be allowed to make, they will be shot out of the water. Okay? Believe me. Just today, we were reminded of the need for missile defense after North Korea performed its 4th nuclear test, and they're getting better. They're getting better. You notice? They used to be laughing at them, and now all of a sudden, step by step, they had their 4th nuclear test. Now, Hillary Clinton became Secretary of State, and this is when it all began, folks. North Korea, like so many other things, is one more Hillary Clinton failure, Barack Obama failure. One more. Just like she failed catastrophically in Iran and put them on a path toward nuclear weapons. Can you believe the Iran deal? One of the worst deals I've ever seen. And the $400 million that we saw 2 weeks ago. We thought that was ridiculous. And we didn't believe it was even possible. But they gave $400 million to these thugs. Well, it was wrong. It turned out to be $1.7 billion in cash. 1.7. Did you see the pictures of that money? Massive amounts of money piled up. And they all said, oh, they're going to use it for terror. They're not going to use it for terror. Can you imagine these guys when they bring $1.7 billion in cash into some place? Can you imagine? They're not using it for terror. They're using it for Swiss bank accounts. They got plenty of money for terror. They're not going to get rid of that money. Can you imagine seeing $1.7 billion? How stupid are we? How stupid? How stupid are we to allow this to happen, to allow that horrible deal to happen? If we would have increased the sanctions a little bit longer, we could have made any deal that we wanted, and the hostages should have been released before we ever started negotiating. Hillary Clinton has presided over the greatest series of power, and you know this, I mean, the greatest series that I've ever seen of foreign policy failures and mistakes and blunders that anyone has ever seen. Everything she touches has turned bad. Now she wants to be president. I mean, the only thing she's done well, and she'll go down in history for it, I have to admit, is getting out of trouble with the emails. That's the single greatest achievement of Hillary Clinton. True. We're going to do better than lock her up. We're going to win on November 8th. That's what we're going to do. Because she is being so protected. She could walk into this arena right now and shoot somebody with 20,000 people watching right smack in the middle of the heart, and she wouldn't be prosecuted, okay? That's what's happened. That is what's happened to our country. I never thought I'd see the day when this is happening to our country. Her policies have produced massive global disorder. She's handed Iraq over to ISIS, unleashing that terror group all over the world, including the United States, where we're taking these people in and we don't even know who they are. This could be one of the great Trojan horses of all time. They won't talk about the Trojan horse in 500 years ago. They'll be talking about what happened in the United States. Think of it, 550% more than the thousands and thousands of people that Barack Obama is letting in, and nobody knows who these people are. ISIS would not be threatening the West today if it were not for the decisions made by Hillary Clinton, and now she wants to become president. She helped destabilize Egypt by supporting the ouster of President Mubarak in exchange for the Muslim Brotherhood. Fortunately, President el-Sisi is now in charge, but terrorists have gained a very strong foothold in that country too. She helped push Syria into prolonged civil war by pushing for regime change in that country too, without any plan for the day after. What happens when it's all over? They say, gee, we've never thought of that. She failed with China, which has only grown more aggressive. They're all growing more aggressive. No respect. By the way, she also let China steal hundreds of billions of dollars in our intellectual property. The numbers are staggering. They steal it, they take it. And of course, Hillary Clinton failed totally with her Russian reset. She tried so hard. Then she talks about me. Oh, Donald Trump likes Putin, and Putin likes Trump. Honestly, I don't know the gentleman, but you know what? He's been nice to me. If he's nice to me, that's fine. Not going to make a bit of difference. If we don't get great deals for our country, nothing matters to me. It's all about getting great deals. And I'll tell you this, if we got along with Russia, that wouldn't be so bad, would it? That wouldn't be so bad. And if Russia, which has a huge ISIS problem also, wants to help us get rid of ISIS and wants to spend billions and billions of dollars along with us on getting rid of ISIS, I'm all for it, folks. I'm all for it. She gave up. When you think of it, she gave up missile defense in Poland and the Czech Republic in exchange for absolutely nothing. They can't believe the deal they made. This is supposed to be the tough woman. Tough. This is a woman that doesn't know what victory is. She doesn't know what victory is. And hopefully she won't find out on November 8th. That I can tell you. Because if she does, our country is in big, big trouble. Then she gave up 20% of U.S. uranium to Russia. You know what that means, right? You know the word nuclear, right? Well, those who benefited from the deal gave massive amounts of money to the Clintons. Think of it, 20% of the uranium. Uranium is big, big stuff because it means the ultimate. The ultimate is called nuclear. Not global warming, it's called nuclear warming, okay? Let's not forget, Russia went into Crimea on President Obama's watch. Remember that. Unlike Clinton and Obama, we will negotiate with Russia from a position of strength, not weakness. And weakness is all we get from President Obama and Hillary Clinton. The difference between me and my opponent on Vladimir Putin and in all negotiations is that I negotiate by creating leverage so I can extract a good deal for the United States, for the people. Hillary Clinton negotiates but never gets anything of value for the United States. Again, look at the Iran deal. That was her baby. She started it. It was taken over by a man who was so incompetent. Our Secretary of State, right, John Kerry. He never left the negotiating table. He never walked away. He could have made a much better deal. He never walked away. The only time he walked away was to get into a bicycle race where at 73 years old, he fell and broke his leg. Okay, that's the only time. That's the only. This is our group. These are the people we have representing us. It is terrible. Putin laughs. Believe me, he laughs at our leaders and takes them to the cleaners again and again. Yesterday, we had a plane, and he had his jets circling the plane. They were as close as 10 feet away, taunting us, toying with us, just like Iran, taunting us, toying with us. And don't forget, when they took our 10 sailors, Iran, humiliated our country, humiliated those sailors, humiliated them. And the only reason we got them back was because the following day, the money that we're giving them, the billions and billions of dollars, was going to start to flow. So they're smart. They said, you know what? We better make sure that money comes in. So they humiliated us for 2 days, and they let them go, and then the money started pouring in. It's not going to happen with me, folks. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. That is why we will rebuild our military, and again, so strong that nobody's going to mess with us. We're going to strengthen our economy and our region. We're going to put ourselves in a position of leadership in the world again so we can negotiate from a position of great, great strength. But more important than negotiating is we will be secure again. And we are not right now. We had a general recently who said, if attacked, we are in no position to defend ourselves. Did you see that? Unbelievable. If I cannot get a good deal for the United States with Russia or anybody else, I will follow the example of Ronald Reagan and walk away. Very simple. Walk away. And I would have done that anyway. I don't need our great president or this one. We should have walked away from so many of the deals that have put us into so much trouble. So that's completely contrary to the way President Obama and Hillary Clinton negotiate, which gets nothing of value for the United States ever. When do we make good deals? We don't make good deals. We don't make good trade deals. We don't make good... When was the last time you could honestly say that you saw the United States do something that was great and you put your chest out and you said, that's great? When does it happen? Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. It's going to happen a lot. You're going to get so tired of winning, I don't know. Maybe you just don't want to win that much. They just keep losing and losing. I will end this legacy of failure, and I will strongly defend the interests of the United States. But I will also keep focused on the ultimate goal. We will not seek endless conflict and hostility. We won't get trapped in the failed approaches of the past. Money, 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 trillions of dollars. We've now spent up to $6 trillion in the Middle East. And our roads are collapsing. Think of it. Our roads, our bridges, our tunnels, our hospitals, everything. Our country's collapsing. And we spent almost $6 trillion. We could have rebuilt our country 2 or 3 times over. Gotta stop. We're gonna have a future where America can find common ground with countries like Russia and China. We're gonna have a better future for our children. These countries don't respect our leaders. They don't respect our country much because of our leadership, but they have no respect for our leader, and they have less respect than that for Hillary Clinton. They hope that she wins. Oh, do they hope that she wins. They will have a field day. It will be pillage time. We will pursue these relationships with our eyes wide open and a clear understanding of our many, many differences. We have many differences. I will advocate the American position with a strength and clarity President Obama and Hillary Clinton never have been able to do. No more apology tours. No more. No more. No more bowing to foreign powers and their leaders. Remember? We will proudly defend America at every single turn. And we will go to countries that we defend, some NATO countries, other major countries, and we will ask them to up the ante, because we are protecting countries that are behemoths from an economic standpoint, and we are losing billions of dollars. And we're going to ask them in a very polite way, and I'm sure they'll say absolutely, because they can't believe what they are getting away with, okay? And that's going to have a huge impact on our country. America will get the respect it deserves. And if we don't, it's very simple. I will walk from the deal like you've never seen anybody walk before. And believe me, within a short while, they will come back, but only on my terms. Therefore, only on the terms of the American people. That's what. It's enough. On these principles, we will pursue our long-term goal of peace, for the sake of our kids, for the sake of the world's future. It's the world's future. Hillary Clinton has failed in every single country where she has gotten involved. Any country she's gotten involved with, it's been failure. And at a very, very high price for our country and for the world. Her policies have produced only death, destruction, and not diplomacy. She's trigger happy, and now she's trying to say like she's this. Let me tell you, folks. Personally, I think she's an unstable person, okay? She's trigger happy, pushing recklessly for regime change, but never creating or promoting stability or advancing the core interests of the United States that we all love. Her only real achievement as Secretary of State is something that, honestly, we're still looking for. And if we look hard enough, we may find some little thing. Remember this. With her emails, she bleached and deleted them, and she destroyed those emails, and that was after getting a subpoena to produce them from the United States Congress. How do you do that and get away with it? She lied to Congress while under oath and smashed her phones with a hammer to keep them from getting into the hands of the authorities. And she's fine, no problem. And by the way, who has 13 phones anyway? Boom, boom, boom. Next. Gee, I don't have the phones. They're broken. I'm sorry. No, this is bad. Only somebody with a lot to hide. And we all know one of the main things that Hillary Clinton was hiding. She was hiding her pay-for-play scandals as Secretary of State. Hillary Clinton isn't just part of the corrupt establishment. She is the corrupt establishment. She is. I just saw her press conference today where she complained about all of the problems of the world that she's going to fix. The problem is she's caused most of these problems. She's been there for 35 years. It's time for change. It's time for change. Change. If only we'd had a competent Secretary of State who could have prevented all of these problems from happening. Throughout it all, Hillary Clinton and her foundation raked in millions and millions of dollars from the most oppressive and brutal regimes on earth. Hillary Clinton and her foundation have cozied up to regimes that oppress and brutalize women, that murder gays, and that violate human rights on an unimaginable scale. My administration will be a voice for all the people who are oppressed, including the millions of women being oppressed by radical Islam. So she's been there for years. She's only produced failure, yet people keep giving her money and totally protecting her. It's the powerful protecting the powerful. The insiders fighting for the insiders. I'm fighting for you. It's time. I'm fighting for you. The people advising Hillary Clinton are the people responsible for the endless wars and conflict where they make a fortune. Despite all the death, they make a fortune. And the tragedies in the Middle East. I am proud to have the support of the retired generals and admirals who know how to win and how to avoid endless wars. And on Monday, we have 88 generals and admirals. I didn't even know there were that many. I figured wouldn't be that many. On Monday, we're getting 22 more. Let me also take this moment to express our deepest thanks and gratitude to everyone who has worn the uniform, but most especially to those who have given the ultimate sacrifice for this country. There is no greater expression of love than the love shown by the men and women who have laid down their lives for their country and for its people. There's nothing like that. It is our duty to ensure that their sacrifice